This is about discernment and not punishment. Like, putting people back, or they may have said something to you that just didn't rub you the right way, and you can't stop thinking about what they said and how it made you feel. You may have to just move them, and I keep going back because, move them back and maybe circle 5 or 6, right? You still want to talk to them. It's almost like, how somebody can do something to you and you can forgive them, but you ain't forgot. Welcome to the Girl It's All in Your Head show. I'm your host, Dr. Daryll, and I guide women to break limiting beliefs and get unstuck by tapping into the power of their subconscious minds, helping them to become the woman that they thought they could never be. You're in for a treat today. This topic that I'm going to talk about is serious, y'all. It's going to help you to reach a higher level, to become more aligned with the highest version of you. I think it's a topic that we don't think about often. I think we give passes for this topic, so let's get into it. I'm going to give you five ways, 5 tips of reevaluating your inner circle. Now, I'm going to let that sit with you for a moment. Your inner circle. Let's give a definition to your inner circle. Your inner circle should be people that are surrounding you, hence the circle. People who you trust. People who you don't have an issue with them telling you like it is. You don't have an issue with them snatching your edges. You trust them, you trust their opinions, how they feel, what they think. You go to them with questions, you run things by them, right? That's your inner circle. Now, as a life coach, I would highly suggest that you only have about, I'm going to say 3 to 4 people in your inner circle. Now, if you want to push the envelope, all right, go ahead and do 5. Let me tell you why I'm saying that. I'm saying that because when you ask people their opinions, or you share your most inner thoughts, your deepest fears, because you trust them, remember, you should be trusting them. You're going to remember what each one of them have said to you. And you're going to take all of those insights, whatever, conversations, discussions that you have had with them, and you're going to kind of come up to comparing them with your feelings and kind of, I'm going to say fact check, but not fact check. Let me see. What's the word? We'll keep it at fact check. You're going to kind of just fact check to make sure it aligns with how you feel. You can say, oh, I can see it that way. And then maybe you put a different spin on it to that you understand why they said what they said, right? You can't do that with 10 different opinions and 20 different opinions. It's just going to cloud your judgment. It's going to help you to remain stuck instead of assisting you to move forward. And that's why I would suggest that you only have 3 to 4 people. Now, let's talk about who those people are, okay? Now, let me check my notes because I want to make sure that I'm good, okay? I want to make sure that, okay, because I think I had this as one of the 5 things, but I took it out. Okay, see, I'm listening to myself. I took it out because I felt like this was not even necessarily one of the ways to reevaluate. I think this is the basics, okay, of trying to make sure that I define who are those people that should be in your inner circle, okay? First, let me tell you this. You'll say, oh, my husband is, and like he automatically has a place, or your wife. She automatically has a place in your inner circle, right? Most of us automatically grandfather in your mom, your dad, because they've let you, your entire life. Hopefully you've had that type of relationship and that upbringing where your parents have shared their thoughts and feelings, and as you got older, they have become wise people that you can keep, right in your pocket. Let me call my mother first, okay? That's what I try to be to my girls. Now that they are older, you don't have to take on my opinion. You'll have your own opinion, okay? But let me say this let's talk about parents and siblings. And even old friends that you have been knowing since kindergarten. Well, since you were 3, right? You automatically just give them access to a seat in your inner circle. But have you really thought about and really pull up all your memories of them and even how they act now or what opinions they share with you, because you have that experience with them? If you did not know them, would you have them in your inner circle? That's what I want to leave you with right now at this moment. I just want you to really sit and think. Think about your parents' background, how they grew up. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm in that era of my parents did not talk to my brother and I about money because that was grown folks' business. So learning to navigate financial literacy and building generational wealth for my children, I have had to seek out assistance for that and learning that because my parents did not speak to me about that. Okay, it was none of my business, right? So I'm trying to break that in my family, and so now to the point where, like my husband and I are just learning with our girls, learning more things because we want them to be better than us at financial literacy, correct? So I want you to think about, I got to turn my heat off. Whew, yeah, I'm getting hot. I want you to think about that. So if that type of person, and I'm not talking about your mama now, I ain't talking about your mama, I'm not. But that type of person who wants to keep those things because I guess they thought we were going to go and tell everybody their business. I don't know. I don't know what it was, what was such a secret where to the point now we share with our girls how much we make, what we do in our jobs to equate to that salary, because I don't want my girls sitting at a job and they find out that somebody is making $25,000 more than them and they're doing the same job. Oh no, we got to go to human capital, human resource, or whatever, because something's not right here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, I think it builds character, it builds worthiness, because we have this thing with money. And I didn't want my children to have any type of limiting beliefs when it comes to money. Hence, money don't grow on trees. Now, y'all know your mama and your papa have said that to you. Money don't grow on trees. Well, in this house, yes, it does. I could sell this, whatever, honey. I'm going to come online and I'm going to sell it. You understand me? Yes, money does grow on trees. Money comes to me in infinite quantities. Okay? So I've been able to turn that around where that energy of money for my family is, it's overflowing at all times. That's an example of why you may not want your mama in your circle if you are consistently have concerns with money. That's just one example, okay? Let's get back like on the real topic, okay? So your sister. No, let's not even do your sister. Let's do your cousin's sister who you have grown up with. And she may be a hothead, right? So anytime somebody gives you a problem at work, she like, where they at? Where my Vaseline? I'm gonna take my earrings off. Where they at? Because we're gonna fight, okay? You may not want that person in your inner circle because you may just end up in jail. Now, I'm not saying throw her away. We'll talk about that later, okay? What I'm saying is you need to be intentional about who you allow full access to you. I'm going to say that again. You want to be intentional about who you allow full access to you. Because sometimes they think that they're helping because they have no ill will towards you, because they love you, right? Your mother loves you, your dad loves you, your cousin, sister loves you unconditionally. So they're coming from a place of emotion and feeling. Now, I'm not saying they may not really say, okay, let me think about it, let me really give you my opinion. You do want somebody like that in your circle. So I just wanted to give you just some basics about, you really need to make sure that people who are in your circle are people that are going to push you forward, people that are going to offer a shoulder for you to cry on for a little bit of time and then say, okay, now what are we going to do about this? Let's put our heads together. You have this problem. We have this result that you want. Let's come up with the steps to bridge that problem to a result and an outcome. You want people like that, okay? That's who you want in your inner circle. Okay, now, let's go on with the show. So, I'm going to give you 5 ways. Okay, so stop with the excuses. Sometimes you have to break up with people, meaning, you guys may still be able to remain friends. You're not throwing anybody away, but you really need to sit down. If you are truly ready for a reset, a mindset shift, if you are ready to become that woman that you thought you could never be, and you just keep looking at her and she's all the way over there and you like, I see her, I want to be her, but I just can't even get close, I can't touch her. I think this is one of the first things that you should do, is reevaluate who you have given full access to you. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. Because we all decide, right? We all have that motivation. Oh, I'm getting ready to do better. I'm getting ready to do this. I'm getting ready to have my bikini body in the summer. Right? We all do it, including me. We all do it. Okay? And then you'll have a person that's considered in your inner circle, because y'all been friends since the 1st grade. And you'll call her and you be like, girl, I want to have my summer body. I'm getting ready to go start walking every day. And she going to say, how you got time for, you don't have no time to do that. And let me tell you, a true inner circle candidate would say, well, what time you going? I think you can do it. Do you need to look at your schedule? Because you real busy. Let's look at your schedule to see when you can fit this in. Hell, I may come on and join you because I want my bikini body too. Or I already have my bikini body, but guess what? I want to maintain it and I want to help you get your bikini body. So what time we walking? That's who you want in your inner circle. That's who you want. Okay, all right, let's get into it. I keep going back to that because I think maybe I should just do a whole show about how do you get your application together? How do you interview people without them knowing you're interviewing them for your inner circle? Okay, because I think that's a big thing. All right, so everybody, I'm almost sure. Now, you may have some haters in your life, but for the most part, everybody that you come into contact with and your energy messes with them, and you may not identify it as, I like this person's energy, but that's what it is. It's an exchange of energy. And oh, I love her. She's nice, she's sweet. I see how she treats her children. I see how, he treats his wife. And, that's a person that, I wouldn't mind being good friends with this person. Or even growing up, this person was my best friend and we did everything together. And she has really good ideas. I'm not saying that those people should not be candidates. But you want to stay clear of grandfathering people in to your inner circle. Okay, now I'm truly gonna move on. All right. So the first way to reevaluate your inner circle is access how you feel after interacting with them. Now you can call up Auntie. Okay, let's call her your sister aunt. She's your mom's youngest sister, right? She's only about 15 years older than you. And I'm just throwing out examples, y'all. I wish I had an auntie sister. That would be so nice. And I'm not saying she would automatically be in my inner circle either. Okay, I'm just saying. And every time you talk to her, you don't feel as good when you finish. You want to talk to her, y'all go out, but you always have this lingering thing like, dang, every time I'm with her, all we do is talk about people. Because, that's what a lot of women do, including me. I have a friend, we just gossip, honey. We just gossip about people all the time. But we know when to turn it off. Hence, especially me, because it's fun for a little bit, but then after a while, I don't want that negative energy attached to me. And I don't even do it as nearly as much as I used to do it before I started working in this field of women's empowerment and just attracting what I want and just making sure I had the right energy around me. So I don't do it as often, okay? So I'm able to cut those things off because I don't want to be attached to them. I don't want to bring it home. I don't want it being a part of my energy, okay? So, auntie sister, whenever you talk to her, you have an idea. Girl, you too old for that. Or, girl, you don't went to college. You just need to find a good job with the benefits and save for your retirement. What you mean you want to start a business? And again, I'm just throwing things out there. If it messes with you, then it messes with you, okay? If I don't snatch your edges, I'm not sorry, because I want to throw out as many examples that I can, okay? So, and you just don't feel good. You don't feel like you're supported in your feeling. And I'm not saying you just want to forget your dreams because one auntie sister has said to you, girl, that ain't going to work. But it does attach itself. That emotion that you just felt that non-supportive feeling that you just got, that feeling of being drained, because some of our people that we talk to every day, gosh, they just drain you. They so needy, and they need everything for you. And we as black women, we have a tendency to give from inside of our cups. I want y'all to stop that. Everything that is in your cup belongs to you. And get a big cup. Don't get no little teacup, no little 4-ounce little teacup where your pinky is out. No, we want a big gulp times 3. That's your cup. Then you give to people from your overflow. Okay? Stop. Because all you are doing is taking resources from you, which means that the people that you claim that you want to help, that you want to build up, hence your husband, your children, they're not getting all of you because you're giving from inside of your cup. You need to be given from the overflow. Okay? So when you finish talking to these people who you have in your inner circle, are you calm? When you leave them, are you activated? Do you feel inspired? Do you feel motivated to, do better and get your life and level up and become more aligned to who you want to be? Because a lot of us don't even share those feelings. We leave out of the house. We have our mask on. Everything is fine. And you are good. You look in the mirror, you feel beautiful about yourself. But then when you get a moment to sit with yourself, you're not happy. Those limiting beliefs start coming in. I'm too old for this. I got a wrinkle here, I got a wrinkle there. My face doesn't look right. Everybody that I graduated with seems like they're doing so much more than I'm doing. Those thoughts come in. And it's okay. We all experience those things. The difference is, the thought can come in. The difference is, what do you do with that thought? What do you do with that limiting belief? And if you have someone that's in your inner circle, and every time after you speak with them, you don't feel good. You don't feel good at all. That's a flag. Okay? That's a flag for you. And again, I'm not telling you to throw the person away. We'll talk about what I would suggest that you do with them. That sounds like I'm speaking of them like they're a piece of paper, but you know what I mean. Okay, so, and you get the feeling, you may not be able to put it into words, but you do have that feeling, because the nervous system doesn't lie. It knows, and it feels it before your mind actually catches up. So you'll have that one girlfriend that, y'all been best friends in high school, and y'all are just friends, but it seems like you get a feeling that she thinks that she's better than you. Or you feel like you're beautiful, but you don't feel as beautiful or as successful as you normally do when you are around her. Or you feel like you're taking a second seat behind her, right? And so you just get this feeling. That's your intuition. And women have been taught to ignore that. You know when you meet somebody and they creepy. You don't need them to say, hey, I'm creepy. Girl, you know it already. Tap into your intuition. People actually show you who they are by their energy. You don't even need them to say anything. You will know. Once you learn how to listen to yourself, you don't need them to say anything. All you need to do is be in their presence and just observe. Okay? So, if you have people like that in your inner circle, you need to reevaluate. Okay? That's the first way. Reevaluate how they make you feel. And you don't need proof to honor that emotional feeling or that emotional red flag warning that you get. You don't need proof. So, you've been feeling it for years. You've just been ignoring it. So now that you know, and maybe I've made you think about, yeah, maybe so-and-so is like that. Let me go through what has happened. You don't need no proof. Your proof is your intuition. Okay? Doesn't mean that they are not a good person. It just means that they may not be a person that should be in your inner circle and have full access to you. Reevaluate. Hey ladies, I am personally inviting you to my Color Connect Center. This is a hypnotic coloring experience. If your mind is busy and racing and you want the opportunity to just do a mindset reset, come and join us on March the 7th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, we're going to color. But we're going to color with intention, and I'm going to do some meditation with you, some breath work, a little light hypnosis so that you can reset your mindset and get closer to the woman that you thought you could never be. Okay, the second way. Try to make this show 30 minutes. The second way. Notice how they respond to your growth. Okay? So if you're like, girl, what you doing? We gotta go out. I gotta tell you something. No, you gotta wait. I gotta tell you. Maybe you got accepted into a master's program or a doctoral program. and you've been out of school for years, and you decided, I want to go back to school to get this degree so I can start my business or whatever you want to do with it. It may just be an accomplishment that you want, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. But and you think the people that I got I'm showing up with a t-shirt, honey. I'm gonna make a t-shirt and I'm showing up. And I'm going to cheer you on. Now I would most likely do that with anybody because that's just the person that I am. Now, and my children know, honey. I've been threatened, Mom, please don't please don't make a t-shirt. Because I will make a t-shirt. I want everybody to know this is my child and I believe in her and she's fabulous. Okay? So, now I'm not saying they got to come with a t-shirt on, but you'll feel the energy that they are proud of you or they're happy for you, that you're happy. Even if they don't even understand you're 58 and you going back to school. And they may even say to you, girl, I don't know why you would do that, but let me tell you this. If you need to study, you need me to make some flashcards for you, I am there. That's who you want in your inner circle. Now that's somebody who just told you she don't understand why you would do this. So she's not necessarily in agreement with it, but she's going to celebrate you anyway, and she's going to help you to get through it because that's your girl. That's your inner circle girl, okay? Do they minimize it? Oh, well, yeah, I applied for a doctoral program too, and I got into it, but I decided, I didn't want to do it. Let me take a sip. Yeah, I got into it too. Reevaluate. Okay, now, some of y'all little friends and y'all in a circle, they benefit from your limiting beliefs and you being stuck because it makes them feel higher. It makes them feel more aligned to who they are, right? Now, I'm going to say this about that. I think we all have a tendency for that, including myself, because I am a person that I'm a motivational speaker. So I love standing up in front of women and teaching. Give me a mic, honey, and it's on, okay? Let me tell you what I get from that. What I get from that is seeing the emotions on women's faces when that aha moment pops in, or that lady who stands up and be like, girl, go girl. I get that energy, and it just makes me just want to give more and want to teach more and want to share more, because I want those women to leave me being changed. I want them to leave me with something that they can do as a next step. I want them to be motivated, but more than being motivated, I want them to be activated. Because motivation only lasts for a little bit of time. So I benefit, right, from their engagement in the audience. So that doesn't make me a bad person. It's just what I need in order for me to be a better version of me, in order for me to serve more. I benefit from that, right? I benefit from the woman that I see in the audience that's teary-eyed because I done snagged some edges, and now she realizes I need to get some of these people out my inner circle. That benefits me because now I can serve and I can help her better, but it still benefits me. So some of the people in your inner circle, when you have those limiting beliefs and you still struggling with money and you 55 and you still don't have your finances together and they making all of this money and they got this portfolio and this, what is it, IRA account and all this stuff, you make them feel good about all of the accomplishments that they have been able to make, and you so stuck. Now, I'm not saying they're going to throw it in your face, but the people who would, the people who would turn it towards them and start talking about all the money that they have and how they did this and how they did that, instead of saying, girl, it could be between me and you. Let's look at your accounts. Let me help you to get where I am so we can be there together. Okay? I just want you to think about it. So for me, even though I benefit off of some women not feeling good about themselves, I'm going to make that change for them. I'm making it, but I'm going to give them what they need so that they can make that change for themselves. Right? I'm not just going to be like, oh, yeah, you want my autograph because you feel bad. I'm not that I'm benefiting from you person. But you'll have some people in your inner circle that would be like, oh, yeah, give me your autograph. And, yeah, can I get a testimonial so you can be crying on the video and all that stuff and you don't know what to do next. And I couldn't imagine being that person that would not step in and be like, girl, you don't have to do this no more. This going to be your last time that you sit here and feel like this, honey. Because we're going to reevaluate your inner circle, okay? So, just a thought, okay? So then I wrote this. People who are uncomfortable with your growth often prefer the version of you that needed them. Come on, somebody. I wrote that a while ago. I'm good, y'all. Yeah. Did you hear what I said? It's time to reevaluate. Okay, so this will help you to decide who stays close to you and who moves to a wider circle. You can have more than one circle around you. Move them. Move them. I need to put that on a shirt. I made a video for that and people were like, move them. Yes, move them back to another circle, okay? The third way, you're going to look at the current friendship, the current relationship, not history. I talked about that at the beginning. I don't care if you've been knowing them for years. I don't care if it's your mama. I don't care if it's your grandmother. And I love all the grandmoms and I love all the moms. If their attitude does not serve you, right, then you have to reevaluate. Who needs to go to a wider circle, okay, and who can stay? We're not throwing anyone away, but let me put my disclaimer in. Some people need to be thrown away. But that's later. That's a whole nother show. Right now, we just moving people around like you playing chess. Okay? So you want to make sure that just because you've been knowing someone for a long time, it does not mean that they are aligned to you. Right? And I want to put in a side note when I'm speaking of your mom or your dad. Trust me, they want you to do better. But when you have a philosophy and you have your own values based on your experiences, what they have learned from their parents, some of these limiting beliefs are inherited. They don't even belong to you. And when that aha moment hits you and you no longer believe that money don't grow on trees, and you may have to put your mom and your dad in a wider circle because that's what they believe about money, trust me, they are not going to be mad at you because they want you to do better. I can't think of any parent who does not want their child to do better than them. Even when you have a parent who has an addiction, it's no way that they will want you to have an addiction, right? I'm almost sure. It will have to be some mental issues for a parent who says, oh, I want my child to be addicted to drugs too. I don't know if I've never have met a person that would actually say that who has recovered through drug addiction. So, history doesn't override the present behavior. I'm going to say that again. Your history with them does not override present behavior. It does not give them a grandfathered in space in your inner circle. Okay? Time invested is not a reason, to keep investing. Now look, I thought long and hard about these ending quotes on each way. Okay? Time invested is not a reason to keep investing. Let me do a side note for you guys that are in marriages. And you've been married for 20 years. And you're just not feeling it anymore. You're there because we've been together for so long. But you no longer align. You're going to spend the rest of your life with someone who does not sweep you off your feet. Okay? That's just one example. Come on, y'all. Put yourself first. Self-care. Mental care. All of that goes together. All right. The fourth one. Then we coming down the stretch, y'all. We coming down the stretch. The fourth one. Decide who gets access versus somebody that's just like in your social group. Okay? There's a difference between someone who has access to you, meaning they know a lot about you. Not saying that they know everything. Just because you're close to them doesn't mean you give them access. Okay? Because you can't tell everybody everything. I mean, we all know that. You can't tell everybody everything. Okay? So, access means, you have that emotional intimacy with them. You have a friend that you can call up and you can cry without feeling crazy or without feeling like they're going to think that you're crazy or they're going to think, oh my gosh, she's calling me again crying. You have the emotional intimacy. They have access to that. Influence. You care about what they think because you're proud of them and you see them making good decisions. And, if they do good and they influence you to do better and you end up doing better, hell yeah, you want that person in your inner circle, right? And you feel safe to be vulnerable with them. And I'm not just talking about tears. I mean, feel safe that you could tell them things that you would think somebody would think that you were an awful person for. And you know that they are not going to judge you. Okay? Versus someone who's in a social connection. So you have a good friend and maybe she's in your inner circle and she has a best friend. And every time you guys are together, because you're with one of your inner circle friends who belongs in your inner circle, she has another friend and you just talk, nope, just wait till y'all alone. Don't give this other friend access to you because she hangs around your inner circle friend who has earned her spot in your inner circle. Okay? A shared space, a cordial interaction just because you know them and you see them all the time. Because we tend to confuse, we call a lot of people at work friends. We use that word like it's flowing water. Everybody is not your friend. You don't want to hurt their feelings by saying that's an associate. If you call somebody a friend, that means that you would invite that person into your home. You would go over their house. I'm not saying hanging out because I'm not even that type of friend. You ain't going to come over here and hang out. It's just not me. It's not who I am. And I'm not coming to your house to hang out either. right? So everybody is not your friends, but I do have friends, and I can't stand when somebody stop past my house without calling me. Because I may be in here not dressed. Y'all know how we do as soon as we walk in the house, a bra come off. Don't stop past my house without calling me first. But I have about 3 friends, and I'm not even going to say inner circle friends, but I'm talking about the definition of friend. They know they can stop past my house. They don't have to call me. They know my family good enough. They know how I feel about it. So I know that they're stopping past, they really need to stop past. And I'm not even talking about some emergency either. They may just want to talk and chit chat. They know I'm gonna let them in. The other people, honey, I'm be looking at you right out that peephole like, we ain't home. And that includes everybody. Family, no, don't stop past my house. Okay, now, I done snatched some of my edges. I'm sorry. Okay, and this is what I wrote for this. Everyone can have access just because they're close. Just because they're near you. That does not automatically give them access to you. I want y'all to be intentional. That's the word for the day. Be intentional about everything. You want to be strategic about who's in your circle and specific about it, who's in your circle, and intentional. All of these things it's going to keep people without like over giving to them. It's going to avoid some dramatic cutoffs, because trust me, you're going to get to that point because this person hasn't truly, learned or earned access to you, and you're going to get to a point where you're going to be mad and they're going to be looking at you like, well, what I do to you? Because you let them in. Now, that's your fault. So now you got a dramatic cutoff that you like, nah, they don't even get to move. Those are people you just get rid of, where you could have just moved them back if you had assessed them or reevaluated them properly. Protect. Determine if someone has done the work. Again. Have you I have friends in my who fit. I don't do that. This is a this is not a let me make an announcement, honey, because you ain't gonna have nobody in your inner circle, because they're gonna be looking at you like, who do you think you are? Let me tell you who I think you are. I think you're worthy of every single thing that you want. I think you're worthy of having the right people around you. And you can do that without hurting anybody's feelings or getting anybody looking at you like, well, I ain't applying for no spot in your inner circle. You ain't worth all that. We're going to avoid all of that. Don't tell nobody your business. Just watch this and then evaluate. Write their names down. Evaluate. Okay, so this is about discernment and not punishment. Like, putting people back, or they may have said something to you that just didn't rub you the right way, and you can't stop thinking about what they said and how it made you feel. You may have to just move them, and I keep going back, because move them back to maybe circle 5 or 6, right? You still want to talk to them. It's almost like, you know how somebody can do something to you and you can forgive them, but you ain't forgot. Okay? This is about discernment, not punishment. So, ask yourself these things. Has behavior changed or just the words? So someone may have said something to you that made you feel some type of way, but their behavior is still the same. They still support you. They still whatever. But somebody that's in your inner circle, you should be able to have a conversation and say, when you said this, I was like, girl, what were you talking about? Blah, 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 blah. See what they say from that. Discernment, okay? Have your boundaries been respected? I just shared a boundary. Don't nobody stop past my house. Don't just stop past my house. That's a boundary for me. So I know that if I have a girlfriend and she knows she ain't on that status and she just out of the blue keeps stopping past my house, yeah, you get moved back. Because you're not respecting my boundaries. I don't like people to stop past my house. Can y'all tell that I don't like people to stop past my house? And I don't even know why I talk about it, because nobody stops past my house, because that is a boundary that I have. And anybody that say, oh, I made the stop pass, honey, I shut that down right away. I let them know. Now, I may not say it like I'm saying it now. Not me. I wouldn't say it like I'm saying it now. But yeah, I've always had that boundary. That's just how I am. And y'all know I hate people would say that. That's just how I am. Well, if it doesn't serve you, then you want to move on. This serves me. It's a boundary. So it's not something that I want to change. I like people not stopping, dropping past my house. So it's not something that I want to change for myself. Okay? Let's be clear. And has accountability been shown? You know, just like you have your energy and you feel things, they do too. They know if they have said something to you. I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, because some people don't even pay attention, right? They may only get that feeling for a moment, but they know when, you answer the phone different, they call, go to the voicemail. People pick up on that stuff. They know. So either they may ask, did I say something or whatever they're going to ask you, because we are emotional people. And unless you're a real actress, Halle Berry, and you're going to act like they didn't bother you, which is not being true to yourself. That's not right. You shouldn't have to act around anybody. And that includes not liking people. You cannot like everybody. I could probably roll off 20 names right now, people I don't like. I don't have anything against them, but their energy just doesn't mess with me. I don't wish them any harm. I want them to succeed just like I want to succeed, but they wouldn't get that title of friend with me, right? So, and that's okay. So this is what I wrote for this one. Access is restored through consistency, not apologies. So you don't want people saying, after you say, you know what, I don't like the way, and they say, oh, I'm so sorry, and then they do that again? Yeah. You want consistency of them not doing it again over them apologizing all the time, because that gets old, right? So forgiveness doesn't require reinstatement. So you can forgive them. I said that earlier. Forgiveness is really for you, so that you won't walk around all salty, because you walking around all mad. Honey, they at happy hour minding their business. They're not thinking about you. You're the one that's sitting around salty and mad and everything else. So forgiveness is for you, right? So you forgive them for what they've done, but it doesn't mean that you got your spot back now. Don't mean you got your spot back. And the re-entry into your inner circle, it happens slowly and intentionally. Slowly and intentionally. Okay? All right, so I have gone over all of the 5 ways to reevaluate who is in your inner circle. And I want you to comment. I want to know. And don't put nobody's name in a comment, girl, because y'all had them coming after me trying to bank me and stuff. No, don't be putting nobody's names in my comments. But I want to know, after you've watched this, who did you reevaluate, and did you move them back? They were in circle 1. They in circle 9 now, or 8? That's what I want to know. How did you take this information, and what did you do with this information? All right, thank you guys for showing up. And remember this, I want to always leave you with this. You can want everything in the world for yourself, okay? But if you don't change your identity, you're never going to be able to get it and keep it. You may be able to get it for a little bit, but if you are the same person who didn't have it, even if you got it for a moment, you're not going to have it again, because you did not change who you are. So you just need to think different to be different. All right, see you guys later. I will see you next week. Have an absolute beautiful life.